I wanted to do this on video as opposed to putting out a statement or doing a press conference or anything like that, because I want you guys to hear it directly from me. I want to speak directly to you and the city of Houston so you can hear the words straight from my mouth. I have sat down with the McNair family and I have asked them for my release, and we have mutually agreed to part ways at this time. I came here 10 years ago as a kid from Wisconsin who'd never really been to Texas before. And now I can't imagine my life without Texas in it. The way that you guys have treated me, besides draft night, I mean, you guys booed me on draft night, but every day after that, you treated me like family. And I truly feel like you're my family. Since that day, I have tried to do everything in my power to work and earn your respect and try and make you proud on and off the field. You guys have given me everything and more, and I can only hope that you feel like I've given you everything I have. The city of Houston's been unbelievable to me. It's where I met my wife. It's where I've met lifelong friends and my teammates. I've had incredible coaches and training staff and equipment staff and cafeteria workers and the weight room staff and the front office people and people on the streets, people in restaurants and grocery stores and showing up at my house. The connection is special, and I will never, ever take that for granted because I know how rare it is. I'm excited and looking forward to a new opportunity, and I've been working extremely hard. But at the same time, it is always tough to move on. And I just want you guys to know that I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the McNair family for giving me, drafting me and giving me my first opportunity in the NFL. Thank you, Houston. I love you.
J.J. Watt has been released by the Houston Texans. Bart Scott, reaction.
Because this is Easterby, and he was his power struggle. Remember, he was the character coach, right? And remember, what did J.J. Watt say when the very popular communications director was let go? He talked about the character. He spoke about the character within the locker room as well. He apologized to Deshaun Watson. I'm telling you, there's more to meets the eye going on in Houston. It is a place in disarray, and I think this is exactly why Deshaun Watson is trying to get out of Dodge, because of Easterby, who's been mentioned by Andre Johnson and other people within the organization, winning the power struggle within the Houston Texans organization.
Okay, let me just give you what more information I have. 5 minutes ago, J.J. Watt himself released a video. Above it, he wrote, "I wanted you to hear this directly from me." I obviously can't listen to the video right now, but he released a video in which he announced that he has been released. I'm now going to Adam Schefter's Twitter feed. Adam Schefter tweeted 1 minute ago, J.J. Watt asked the Texans for his release, and the two sides have agreed to part ways. The best defensive player in franchise history is now finished in Houston. He does want to play elsewhere. That's Schefty on Twitter literally 1 minute ago. Rob Gronkowski, it's the second time I've done that. I apologize. Rob Ninkovich, your reaction.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty shocking that he asked for his release, but he's 31 years old and he's played there a long time, and it's not looking like they're going to be anywhere close to the playoffs. So when you're a 31-year-old player and you've been to the playoffs, but you've never actually felt what it feels like to have a chance and get to a Super Bowl, you know that there's very limited bites of the apple left. And he's had some serious injuries that has taken him off the field, and he realizes he only has a few left in him to get out there and actually win a Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you made while you played. It really doesn't. You want to have some substance. You want to try and put a cherry on top of your career with a Super Bowl win. And I think at this point right now, he was seeing that this isn't going to happen, and he probably wasn't happy with where the organization was going. His starting quarterback wants to leave. So I think that he's like looking at it, I want to go to a place where I feel I have a chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Bart.
But here's the hypocrisy. J.J. Watt asked to be released. He's under contract. I know he had 1 year left on his contract. He gets released. The same building, Deshaun Watson wants to be released because he sees the same things that J.J. Watt is seeing, and they hold him hostage. This is only going to make Deshaun Watson dig his heels in even more. Matthew Stafford did the same thing. It is something going on in Houston, and we got to get some reporters with those great spidey senses like Greeny to start digging a little deeper, man.
Yeah, no, we have people down there doing it. And again, I will point out one more time, because all roads lead back to Deshaun when it comes to Houston. Sarah Barshop is our NFL Nation reporter in Houston. She covers the Texans. She wrote a piece on ESPN.com just the other day saying, don't expect him to be traded. Do not expect Deshaun to be traded. They're going to dig in their heels, the organization. They're going to force him to sit out if indeed he's ready to do that, to prove that he's willing to do it. But that's the Deshaun Watson of it all. And that's obviously, from a league perspective, as important as anything could be. But J.J. Watt is a legend. He's a legendary figure, obviously much closer to the end of his career than Deshaun is. So, Jeremy Fowler, let me come to you. What should we expect now for a guy like J.J. Watt? Should we expect there to be a huge market of teams interested in bringing him in?
Well, Greeny, J.J. Watt was getting out in front of this smartly to ask for his release, because the Texans were probably going to move on. I think both parties mutually agreed. He's had several injuries, still a very good player, but had a $17 million cap hit for a team that's underwater with a cap deficit. So they were going to have to figure something out. Probably weren't going to extend him with them trying to rebuild there. Deshaun Watson, he's a guy who's under contract for 5 years, top 5 player. They don't want to lose him. But I know this, J.J. Watt has at least in fun talked to his brothers about playing together. 3 Watts in Pittsburgh. Could you imagine it? But they have cap problems of their own. They probably cannot afford J.J. Watt, to be sure. But that's at least something that's been discussed among the brothers, who are very tight.
Yeah, to be clear, for those who don't know, he has 2 brothers, both on the Steelers roster. His brother TJ might very well have been the best defensive player in the whole sport this year. Bart Scott, how much does he have left? When you watch J.J. Watt play, what is he now?
He's still a great situational pass rusher, still can set the edge, and he still has that arm over move. I tell you what, I called this, Greeny, on this very show like 3 weeks ago. I said J.J. Watt to Pittsburgh. You see the Pouncey money. Listen, it's not about money with J.J. Watt. He's made more than his fair share of money. It's about being able to go out the way that he wants to go out, and everybody wants to play with his brother.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.